Hello, this is Taki'h, and today's sharing is specifically for those in a relationship. And so I wanted to share some of the tips that I have of how to stay connected and how to deepen and continue in your intimacy as a couple. This is a question I get very often because I've been in a couple for over 10 years and on the tantric path. So people want to know, how do we stay connected? How do we go deeper into intimacy? So there are many techniques and tools and practices, and I'll be sharing some of those with you in future recordings. But first I want to address, how is it that you spend your time? And so to start there, so there's three ways that you can spend your time that will strengthen your connection, deepen your intimacy, and allow you to reveal more and more layers, not only of yourself, but also of the relationship and also of existence itself, of life itself. So, the first one, and that's quality time. And you've probably heard about this, but I want to explain a little bit about quality time. It's not something you have to do, and then you're going to enjoy it. It's something you're going to choose to do. Yeah, and it can be going for a hike, it can be cooking together, it can be sharing, talking, whatever it is that is allowing you to connect together and that you enjoy it, that you want to spend your time this way. Most of the time, couples, especially if you have a family or you have jobs and other responsibilities like this, which can take a lot of your energy and time, actually the couple, that relationship and the intimacy in the relationship starts to diminish because you're not spending quality time. You're only spending the time you need to, or things you have to, like grocery shopping or taking the kids to a game or things like this. So quality time, and to recognize it. This is where most people make a mistake. Recognize it as quality time. We usually tend to focus on the negative and recognize that, okay, things are not going as good, or that I'm feeling that we don't have enough time together, this and that. Okay, so when you are spending quality time, name it, recognize it, honor it. Okay, so that's the first type of time. Now the second type of time is something that I've never actually heard anybody else talk about. It's something that me and my partner do, and it's something we call bubble time. And that's when we are in a space together with no other people, with no interactions with any others, either virtual or real, and with no plan, with no particular thing to do, and just see what happens, allow the magic to come through. So most of the time that means we're laying in bed, and it used to be that we would share, and then from that would go in, from that kind of space we would go into a deeper physical and sexual intimacy, and then it has evolved into laying there and just being and allowing ourselves to enter into a timelessness and a spacelessness with each other and seeing what wants to happen. And it may or may not be sexual, but it is intimate and it is beautiful, as long as you can allow yourself to just be. There's no doing, it's just a deep letting go together, and it's absolutely magical. It's absolutely beautiful. What I want to say about this is, I know some of you, obviously you have kids or you have other responsibilities, and so you can't just do that until someone needs to go to the bathroom and then come back until somebody gets hungry. For us, we can go until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We haven't eaten anything all day, and that is not always a reality. And so set aside 3 hours, put the timer on and turn the phones off, and let everybody know this is the do not disturb time, and just allow your bodies to connect, allow yourselves to go deeper, and see what happens. So bubble time, it's absolutely precious, and it's a state of being. And the third type of time that I want to highlight is sacred time. Now, sacred time has been, or sacred space has been associated very often with incense and candles and red velvet and bubble baths and rose petals, and yes, all of that is beautiful, and it helps create an ambiance and a mood, but you can have all that and not have it be sacred. So what really matters is that you are allowing a space and time that you have named, that you're saying, okay, now we're starting. And you put your ego aside. You put your fears and needs aside. That me first, I need this, or I feel a lack of that. And you put on the throne love and awareness. And that, to me, is what creates sacred time. It's not a place for personality. There may be specific practices that you do, like eye gazing or caressing or chanting or whatever, breath circles and so on. There are infinite number of practices that you can do. But what's important is when things come up, resistances or wounds or patterns, unhealthy patterns, that this is where discipline comes in and say, no, thou shalt not pass. This is sacred time. And I am devoted to love and awareness. And you'll see that when both of you can enter into that space and hold it, even if it's for just 1 hour, it's plenty, it's fine. That will start to spill over into the rest of your relationship, and you will bear such amazing fruits from those seeds. So I highly suggest that as creating sacred time. And if you enjoy the candles and the incense and the red velvet and the rose petals, please, by all means. And if you're just more in the need to connect way, and the form doesn't matter as much, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't make it any less sacred. Not at all. So the last point I want to make is about priorities. And many people feel like, okay, if I have to set a date, if I have to set a time and this and that, then there's something wrong, and we should be able to just flow, and we should be able to just, be able to find that spark between us. Well, you make priority to go food shopping because you want some particular food in your fridge. You make a priority to take a shower. You're feeling that you need to freshen up. You make a priority to brush your teeth. You make a priority for many things that are important to you. And then you make priorities that are work-related or family-related. And somehow the relationship isn't on that list for many people. So I just want to call that out, that if you can't make your relationship and spending quality time or bubble time or sacred time at least once a week together, and if that means scheduling it in Sunday at 11 until 1, then I'd ask you, I'd invite you to check what is the resistance. And it doesn't mean there's any less flow available, and if other bubble time and other sacred time and other quality time comes into the week, then welcome it and name it and recognize it. And you have your anchor to come together and to connect. So to those couples who are fresh, to those couples who have been together for decades, these for me are 3 keys, and I seek to integrate all 3 of these types of times weekly into my relationship and my relating, and I can tell you that it's amazing. So thank you for joining me today. I look forward to hearing about it. I'd love to hear if there's any kind of other type of time that you spend that really is a key for you in your relationship or in your relating. I'd love to hear about that. Not specifically about techniques or practices, but the type of time that you spend. And if you're interested in going deeper into intimacy, I have a series called The Intimacy Journey for Couples, specifically for couples, and we go through going deeper into emotional intimacy, into physical intimacy, sexual intimacy, and soul intimacy. It's the path of the consorts, and it's based on my experience over the past decade, journeying in relationship as a means to evolution and awakening. So I welcome you to check that out. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube page yet, channel yet, please do so, and please share it. Share this free information with others who would benefit. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to hearing from you.